We have another set of partners. They are also doing collaborative work and have vision, and I'm really excited. So we have Latino Educational Training Institute, we have Coast Salish Youth Coalition, and the Center for Independence. So here we go. Rosario.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Rosario Reyes, and I'm the founder and CEO of Latino Educational and Training Institute. We're a nonprofit organization that's been in existence for 26 years. Our first 25 years, we've been located in Linwood. We have developed 20 different programs. Last year, we were able to purchase a building in South Everett, and that is going to be, thank you, is going to be our training center. And you saw our mission there and our vision. So in this training center, what we aim to do is to create an incubator for family success that is going to use our 27 programs as a wraparound service. The next slide will show you a little bit about what is going to support the incubator, but I'm going to summarize for you a little bit what do we mean by an incubator for family success. And the beginning of this second phase that we're moving into is thanks to a grant from North Sound ACH that is going to allow us to start developing and engaging the South Everett community. And the Incubator for Family Success is a holistic and evidence-based program that in maturity we hope to be working with 20 families at a time in a period of 2 years, focusing the first year in language acquisition and computer skills. And the second year, hand-holding families into getting to apprenticeships. The goal of this success in the families is to help them move from low-income wages to a livable wages that allows them to continue to live in an area. Because for the rent right now, our clients pay 65% of their income, which is crazy. So this is what we're gonna be working on. Those pillars that we have not only are to help the families, but it's also going to help our nonprofit to, within 5 to 10 years, be totally self-sufficient. How are we gonna become self-sufficient? Is we're gonna have a commercial kitchen that is gonna be open 24 hours. And we will have an event center, which currently we are able to rent. It's a space, not a very large space, but you have an event where you need to seat 200 people. That's the space that we have. We have rooms for workshops, 3 to 4 spaces for that. And so that is going to generate income, and it will also allow us to train people in the different areas of events center. The other area of income generating is our vocational school that we already have a license, and we've been operating in a pilot project for the last 3 years. So all of this work, thanks to the grant that we got from North Sound ACH, will be able to have some staff that in the Everett area, which we're located in Evergreen Way and the intersection of 100th Street, will be able to have the doors open for the community to come in. The majority of the administrative work is done still from Linwood. The administrative part that is gonna be moving to Everett is where we be building a small child care center for 20 children. We're struggling with all the licensings and all of those, but this is the dream. The dream is to support families to move out of low-income wages through training and education, which is to work in the mission that Latino Education and Training Institute has. So especially in moments like this, in which the immigrants in general are facing a moment that we need the support of all the allies in order for us to survive not only these next 4 years, but the future. And I think we're being, in a way, challenged to come up with new ways of working together in order to serve not only the immigrant community, but the low-income community who's going to be facing struggles that they never had faced before. So thank you so much for your attention, but we will be working hard to make this building be available and producing what we dream to have. Thank you.
Squile McQuet Nisjalicha, Kalantan Sanasnet, Sam Sana Juanitum Snet, Chuck Emerson. So hello everybody. My name is Kalantan. My English name is Sam Barr, and I come from the Samish tribe.
Hot Slachel Siayas, Tana Seedsta, Tu Alchad Dehuelap at T CSYC. My name is Tana Joseph Green, and I come from the Tulalip tribes, and I am the Ethnobotany Field Manager for Coast Salish Youth Coalition. The Coast Salish Youth Coalition is lifting up the next generation of culturally connected practitioners of traditional foods and Coast Salish way of life within Coast Salish country. We do that by restoring our people to their traditional foods, traditional activities and practices like canoeing or plantings, and land stewardship. We believe that our plant relatives or our plant people have gone through the same genocide and generational trauma that we have. And so by restoring the people back to the land and our plant relatives back to that land, we can both begin to thrive again and kind of undo some of this environmental impact that us as humans have had.
So we want to share about one of the events that we do. We do a few different events, but the Camas Bake is one that we do every spring, and it's one of our largest events. It involves camping out for 5 days with about 200 people, and it's intergenerational. We have newborns up to elders that are using walkers. We have tribal folks. We have allies who are non-tribal folks, and we've been doing this for 7 years, and we have over 7 tribes that come to this event every year. And it gets a little bit larger every single year. And we do it on Whidbey Island near the traditional village site of Sneetlam Point. It's right near Coopville. And this is a really special place because it's right in the center of where a number of tribal reservations are at all around it. But there aren't any tribal centers on Whidbey itself, but it's only an hour travel distance from 5 different tribes. And so it works out really well as a central hub for these 5 tribes to come to, plus many more. And we do a deep dive on traditional foods and crafts.
I am our ethnobotany field manager, and what that means at our events is I'm leading the groups to take them out to the places to gain access to these traditional foods. When we have this Camas Bake, we need certain plants or we can't make it happen. So some groups will go dig the camas, which is this really beautiful purple flower here. It was one of our major starches before colonization, and it's actually an anti-diabetic food. One of our goals is to teach the youth. We're in this fast food world, and camas is a slow food. It takes 3 days of cooking in the ground to make it happen. And so that's a major goal for us. Another one of the plants is the chocolate lily. That's the brown flower right there. These are all the roots and shoots of things that we eat. And the picture is showing me wrapping some of our traditional elk meat that was donated with some wild onion, and wrapping those in the skunk cabbage. The skunk cabbage and those wetlands and bogs are so important to our people because they were our way of cooking and way of transport. They were like the indigenous saran wrap, so to speak. And then after that happens, we've done this in teams all all the 3 days long, and then at the end, the feast is amazing to watch people's faces, to have cultural wins. I always say that, I didn't get to try camas till I was 30 years old, and watching my son try it at 2 was a cultural win, and that's why I continue to do the work that I do.
So it's really great that all these plants that we gather end up being our kitchen utensils, and it's pretty awesome not having dishes to do after a meal. And so once we put the camas in the pit oven, this is a picture of it in one of the pit ovens. We had a couple. We had one for meat and one for the camas, or tabid is the name for it. Once you put it in there, it takes a really long time to cook, like Tana said. And so you pretty much have nothing to do but just hang out together in camp for 48 hours, keeping that fire going the entire 48 hours. And so we do skill shares during this time. So each tribe that comes brings a different traditional craft that they then share with all the youth and elders. And it just becomes a really fun round robin event where everyone's just sharing and learning together for that whole time. And then we also painted a mural, and this mural was done in collaboration with ACH and the Lopez Island Family Resource Center. And so there was a number of tribal youth from multiple tribes that painted this, and it's going to get donated to the Lopez Island School District, which is the Lopez Lobos, right? The wolf, right? And so the cool thing is that in the Samish language, it will be the Shwalat Stakayat. So Stakayat is wolf, so it's kind of cool. Yeah, anyway. And so that is our slide. Thanks for listening.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'll be your last partner to be spotlighted this afternoon. And I should also let you know, I'm a new ED for the Center for Independence, and I would like to get receipts of how amazing it is to be in community at these tables with each of you powerful change makers. All right, find me on Instagram. My name is Faith Brown. I'm the new ED for Center for Independence. I took office 8 months ago, which means I met North Sound ACH about 8 months ago. And I've been humbled by the amazing work and partnership and collaborative opportunities that my organization and our communities have been able to be participating in. The Center for Independence spans 14 counties here in the state of Washington: Lewis, Mason, Thurston, Kitsap, Pierce, King, Snohomish, Skagit, Whatcom, San Juan, and Island counties. You're probably wondering, what do we do? What is the Center for Independence? We are a center for independent living. We are mandated by the Rehab Act to exist. Every state in the union must have a center like ours that provides services for individuals with disabilities. We provide 5 core services: information and referral and resources, independent living skills training, peer support, advocacy, and deinstitutionalization. That is the language that they use for transition. Being here at this collaboration opportunity and sitting with all of you, and we've talked about in some of these small groups accessibility and language. I've been observing to hear if we're talking about sighted or unsighted language. Understanding individuals. If we're talking about what barriers exist for these community members, my peers. I stand before you as a woman with disabilities, an Asian woman, immigrant, all those labels, all those intersections that each of you can probably go ahead and map out for yourselves. We touch each other in all these ways. Let me bring it back down to you. If you don't identify with having a disability, or you don't know anybody with a disability, or you don't work with anybody with a disability, if you stay here in this country long enough, by the time you're 65, you will be counted as a disabled American, per the Office of Financial Management. That's how this nation will have enough money for our medical adaptive devices, for our insurances, for potential increased medical liability costs because you're over the age of 65. So when you hit that mark, if you hit that mark, should you need supportive services, information, advocacy, education, celebration, please reach out to us, Center for Independence. We have 2 offices, one in Lakewood, where I'm primarily headquartered out of. I was raised in Tacoma and in Pierce County. I'm loving and falling in love with this North Sound region. Our other office is here in Marysville, just across the freeway from where we currently are at. On our slides, you'll see some of what we have, some projects that we've accomplished through working with this amazing collaboration. One is our inclusive emergency preparedness. Raise your hand if you have an emergency exit plan for your office or for your home. Okay. Keep your hand up if it's inclusive. Okay, well, mine is. Okay, so that means if you're on the 3rd floor and your elevators go out, you can get somebody in a wheelchair downstairs. If somebody has a spinal cord injury, not my paramedic friends over there, if somebody has a spinal cord injury and they need CPR or they need resuscitation, do you know how to, will your CPR certification card allow you to perform emergency medical services on an individual with a spinal cord injury? So what we're doing here is we're asking these questions of our community members. Is your disaster resiliency plan inclusive? If the power goes out and now your insulin is no longer good because you haven't had power for 4 days, because what we're learning is here in our own state, our own tribal communities are going for days on end, unsolicitedly without electricity. When we discovered that and learned that through one of our cohort meetings working with Yakaeste of the Lami, we were shocked. We thought, well, we got to do something. How do we stand in the gap? Well, one, let's put together these emergency workshop plannings. Let's get ready for disaster resiliency. What do we need in a go bag for an individual with disabilities versus somebody who has abilities? What other tools, resources are you going to need for your survivability if you don't have something to keep your medication cold, or you don't have anything to power up your wheelchair, or power your CPAP machine? Or if you don't have a safe place to recalibrate your nervous system. So if you would like to learn more about how you and your organization or your community can become more disaster resilient, please reach out to Center for Independence. I have some RAC cards here on our resource table. You'll also see Nika and Rachel came and checked us out, so they can also speak to how amazing that opportunity is. When you do come, we do have full access for language. So we did have Spanish interpretation. We had Spanish interpretation slides. We had CART, and we had ASL. We had virtual presence, virtual opportunities as well, because not everybody can come. Having a physical event does not make it accessible, even if your doorways are more than 38 inches wide and can fit a power chair. So at CFI, that's what we figure out. We try to figure out where are the gaps in which our community can not participate, and how do we become a fully inclusive community? How do we take our community members who systemically, by design, have been isolated? How do we actually build the space of a community campus that includes my community? Part of the other support that we are also working with is we work with youth ages 14 to 24. And so when we talk about deinstitutionalization, our work is in the schools. Once our community members age out of schools, the question is, how do they go into independent living? How do their mom and dad now feel the safety and comfort and peace of mind that their child, their youth with disabilities, can now live independently? We work with families, we work with individuals, and today we have 15 students from all across the state, thanks to North Sound ACH. From all across the state, Yakima, Spokane, Ellensburg, at the University of Washington, practicing those independent life skills right now with 12 of our staff. I'll be checking up on them later and dropping off donuts after this meeting to say thank you. Our legacy is advocacy and outreach. You'll see we do a lot of work in a capital. This year was the first year we asked our state for some support. We are the only state in the union whose state does not support the Centers for Independent Living. We are mandated by the Federal Rehab Act, by the WIOA, and the ADA, but the state of Washington hasn't said, hey, we value that work. We actually value that law, and we will put our investment behind it. So we rely on partners like North Sound ACH. We rely on the good graces so far of our current federal administration to support us. We rely on your questions and your needs in order for us to be able to distribute and allocate the resources of our knowledge and our resources out to the community. If you have a question about how do you reasonably provide a pathway for your employees to file a request for reasonable accommodation, we'll be more than happy to send you a link on what's processes for how to do that and keep you and your agency and you and your staff safe. Here we are at, we're in Olympia here. We made it all the way to May 20th on the governor's bill, and then they took us out. at like 11:58 p.m. I was like, dang it, I really needed that $125,000. We were at the Marysville Strawberry Festival too. We are at many places as possible. If you are having a resource fair, if you are having a gathering, please feel free to reach out to us and ask us if we want a table. We want to understand better how can we become more included in community with you, in partnership with you. How can we build the table that's actually accessible? So thank you. Thank you, Cynthia.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you. Let's say thank you to all of our partner spotlights. They came and shared. Yay. I am sure that there's someone that you heard from today that you need in your circle, in your network. So please make sure that you reach out. There is a directory, a partner directory that you have access to. I think they have the link on all of our newsletters. If not, let us know and we'll make sure that you have a directory so that you can access our partners. Also, if you are not a partner yet, please reach out to our partner engagement team. Partner engagement team, where are you? There they are. There they are. Yes, reach out to one of us and we will make sure that you have what you need so that you can become a partner, get your onboarding and orientation, and be part of this amazing collaborative action network. I want to say thank you so much and turning it back over to Nika.